Willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Stanley Parables. Ja, ich habe eigentlich davor. Es kann sein, dass dass es irgendwie neu ist oder sowas. Ja, weil ich habe da ein Problem gehabt. Ich habe noch einmal vorher 3 Folgen aufgenommen. Die wollte ich gerade bearbeiten und beim Bearbeiten ist mir aufgefallen, ich habe keinen Ton dabei. Ja, und ja, machen wir nochmal. Spielen wir einfach mal. Stanley Parables ist, ja, es ist eigentlich ein Spiel, wo ich glaube, ich brauche nicht viel erzählen, ihr wisst dann wirklich sehen. Ja. Und ich sag noch, warum es zu, keine Videos gekommen sind. Aus dem einzigen Grund, weil ich umziehen musste und ja, und das ist halt nach einer Zeit schwierig gewesen. Und Arbeiten haben wir jetzt auch gehabt. Also ja, und ich hoffe, euch gefällt dieses Spiel. Wir beginnen nochmal das Spiel. Ja, also meine Videos werden 20 Minuten lang werden. Und ja, ich hoffe, euch gefällt euch das Spiel. Ja, vielleicht, ihr könnt auch einen Daumen hoch oder einen Kommentar schreiben, wenn ihr jetzt Urgent Simulator wieder haben möchtet. Aber nein, lass uns mal.
Stanley
Haben wir mal
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-reaping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was...
Ja, so ist es ja auch im Büro, einfach nichts drumherum. Einfach grau.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Stanley
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Mir gefällt dieses Bau, wenn da einfach 2 Türen sind, die verschiedene Wege haben. Und ich habe einen Sprecher, der mich mit Navi herumführt. Aber egal. So, fahren wir mal. Door left. Gehen wir mal dort links.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Here are posted. Ah, okay. Kann man reingehen?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Ist da nichts? Nichts Besonderes?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The boss is upstairs. Okay. Es schaut schon so aus, wie wenn es mein Boss wäre. Steht da hinten. Exklusiv. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Kann man da runterfahren? Fahren wir da runter? Fahren wir nicht runter? Fahren wir runter. So. So. Ladebildschirm, ich liebe dich, Ladebildschirm. Ja. So.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Gehen wir mal da raus und schauen uns diese schöne Welt an.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control, gehen wir, wo gehen wir hin? Gehen wir Mind Control, sagen wir den, machen wir mal, das sagt.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength
Bisschen viele
to find
Bildschirme.
out?
Was ist da unten? Dort. Dort. So. Und jetzt?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay. Kann sein, dass du da herinnen sitzt, oder was? Und schaust mir nach. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Oben.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
unten.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Kann ich? Durch. So.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
Geht's
it.
dahin?
His
Da geht's
own
ins
life
Nichts.
in someone else's control.
doch-
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Thinkable.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Drück alles. Ist kein Knopf. Schade. Das erinnert mich ein bisschen an ein Raumschiff, wenn ich das so sehe. Kann da nichts drücken. Das kommt mir komisch vor. Physical Power. Okay. Hinten ist noch so ein Knopf. Da, okay, warte, was passiert, wenn ich die Reihe drücke? 3. Da oben. 4. Achso. Das. Das. Ich weiß es jetzt nicht. So. Awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it would... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Okay.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating...
Kann sein, dass nichts redet, deswegen, weil ich hör zu, was der Typ sagt, aber...
Let's say,
irgendwas,
now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Eine Minute. Ich kenn mich da nicht aus.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose
Ich versteh's ja nicht.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown.
Ich weiß es nicht, was ich machen muss.
Desperately to your frail life. Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Ja. Bin ich tot? Spiel vorbei? Ich hasse dieses Büro. Ich werde immer automatisch irgendwo hingepartet.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, ich gehe mal zum Meeting Room. Go to the Meeting Room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So. Warte mal. Jetzt kommt der Meeting Room, stimmt.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs. Nochmal das gleiche. Was war das nochmal? 2, 4, 5.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Was ist falsch gemacht? Ich mach keine Musik.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
So, fahren wir wieder nach unten? Fahren wir wieder nach unten, dann gibt's wieder einen Ladebildschirm. Ich will nicht, ja. Ich glaube, in dem Spiel geht es einfach nur nach Hause zu finden, weil ich muss die ganze Zeit durch in meinem Büro durchgehen und ja, ich mag keine Gruselspiele, bitte nicht.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nein.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ja, ich gehe mal gerade durch, ist okay.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nein.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Muss er durch? Hallo? Ladebildschirm.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from the blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Ist okay,
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Bin ich am Ende?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death
bin am Ende.
becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hey, vom Ding. Cool. Okay. Ich glaube, wir sind am Ende, wenn ich das so sehe. Okay, sieht man noch die Sachen da. From the... Okay. Gehen wir mal nach oben. Okay. Also wollten die das einfach, dass wir das... Okay, also ich bin sogar eine Ratte in einem
Oh,
Labor.
look
Kann
at
das
these
sein?
two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Soll ich? Tschüss.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Nein, ich sehe nichts. Ich habe einen schwarzen
not.
Bildschirm.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still
yeah.
save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit.